Namaskar, I'm Harpreet Kaur and I welcome you all to a live and interactive session. This is our online training program under the umbrella theme of Emerging Concerns in Cyberspace. This program is brought to you by CIET NCERT New Delhi, and today we are in day 5 or the last day of the training session. The topic is social media safety. You can also be a part of this training program. I will share all the details with you, and by the end of today's session, please be ready for the assessment. I will share the details of the same as well. Take down our phone number. This is 8800440559. You can also write an email to us. Email ID is training.helpdesk@ciet.nic.in. You're watching this program live on our PME Vidya channels 6 to 12 and on our YouTube handle NCERT Official. So you can always go to the comment section, put in your questions there, your suggestions, and get in touch with us instantly. Now, today on day 5, we will be talking about social media safety. We have been learning about, how basically cyberspace is extremely important for us. We have to be there, but again, we have to keep ourselves safe at the same time. Its use is inevitable, but by following certain procedures and by adhering to certain guidelines, we can protect ourselves and we can be, safe from becoming a victim of online fraud or threat or whatever it is. So social media is again a very tempting platform. We all want to be there, but how we can actually still maintain privacy, how we can keep ourselves safe from all those cyber attacks that are taking place, we'll be discussing the same and much more in detail. So to have a discussion on this, we have invited our expert here in this session, and please join me in welcoming him. We have with us Major Vineet Kumar. Sir, namaskar and a very warm welcome to you. So
Namaskar, ma'am, and it's really a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure is all ours. And I would like to tell everybody that Sir is founder and global president of Cyber Peace Foundation. Sir, I'm sure that you have a lot for us today. And before you actually delve deep into the topic and make us aware about social media safety, I request you to kindly offer us a glimpse of what exactly we're going to cover in the session today.
Right. Thank you. So basically, it's going to be a 1 hour session. So I'll try to do justice to this 1 hour session. Not everything can be covered when we talk about social media, but yes, I will be covering about the recent trends, the kind of crimes that we see, and basically the cyber crimes against children online. So I'm going to cover about that. I'm going to talk about deepfakes and misinformation, how it's being spread on different platforms, some of the recent cases. Again, I'll quote a case also. And then finally, I will talk about being resilient online, because these crimes and attacks may keep evolving, but it's time that we keep ourselves resilient and we know if something goes wrong, where to go and how to report. So that's going to be the structure of my talk today.
Thank you so much for sharing the same with us. We all know that we have been becoming victims of stuff like deepfake. And of course, there's a lot of misinformation and misleading information out there. So I'm sure, today we're going to get the much needed information to keep ourselves safe and protected. And of course, we'll get the much needed awareness. So now I request you kindly go ahead with your presentation. If at all there are any questions, I'll be asking at the end. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. So I've already spoken about what we are going to do today. But I will start off with the best part about technology and social media. And this is how the internet is growing. The numbers are kind of increasing. Platforms are coming almost every day, adding new set of users. So basically, technology and also the emerging technologies is going to come up in a very big way. We have been using AI on a daily basis. So cyber side, if you see a lot of positive use cases, basically, but I'm going to focus more on the threat and basically how these threats are impacting us. But if you see children and young people, they constitute almost 14% of India's overall user population. And this is as per a global statistics. There are a lot of statistics around, but I just picked up one of the statistics that was recent. So there is a significant addition of children and young people who are using social media application. And again, if you see statistics of February 2025, the kind of applications that basically are used globally, YouTube is topping up. followed by WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and other set of messengers. So a lot of these applications are being used by us on a daily basis. Again, this is one of the statistics again where every second, in fact, we have been using social media to keep ourselves updated, to share information, to be connected to people, and the growth is like massive. But with all these growths coming in, there are certain challenges that we see here. And in fact, this is something that I've taken from the UNICEF report. And I've kept one of the entries blank because this is something dynamic in nature, and a new set of crime, new set of frauds will keep adding. But I've just taken something from the new UNICEF 2016 report where we have categorized these kind of crimes and basically technology oriented crimes into cybersecurity threats, data privacy and security, online fraud abuses, anti competitive conduct, and also the abuses on social media. For the sake of this presentation, I'll be covering more on the abuses of social media, about stalking, bullying, misinformation, fake news, social engineering, and little bit I'll be covering on phishing also because phishing is one of the most common incidents on social media. Also, briefly, I'll touch upon on the digital arrest and how the digital arrest scams are happening here. If we talk about children and young people, these are basically the classification of crimes like child sex predators are basically what we see now. There are more and more of these predators going online, and these predators are basically coming from remote countries, not from India, but mostly foreign countries who are trying to exploit children because of the massive growth that we have seen, the surge of platform that we have seen. We see these predators are also growing, and they understand that they can stay at home, they can stay anonymous, and they can target children anywhere in the world. And India is like one of the key, I would say, market. India is like a key, I will not say market, but India is one of the major kind of vectors for them to kind of reach out to children and young people and then further exploit them. Cyberbullying and sextortion, we have seen an increase again in such kind of cases. Child sex abuse, sexual abuse is also on a rise. And now what we see is children in the remote areas are being targeted more and more because the next set of internet users are coming from basically the smaller towns and villages. So they are, in fact, more vulnerable because access to safety and basically cyber hygiene, and also what kind of safety practices they need to implement. I think that awareness is going there, but then a lot more needs to be done. But they are one of the targets. In fact, when I was with the Jharkhand police way back in 2013, I had an interaction with Interpol, and Interpol had shown me some of the content, in fact, that was being live streamed. And I was surprised that a small village, why is so many kind of IPs getting broadcasted and there's a live interaction happening. When I studied about it and we asked further details about it, I got to know that that is a very organized gang. Now, what this organized gang does basically they go to again these small villages and smaller towns. They give a certain amount to the head of the family with a condition that they need to strip their daughters online on the camera, on a live camera. So for the smaller towns and villages, it again because of low awareness there, they accept such request in lieu of certain amount, and they do that particular act. But they don't realize that the entire act is seen from across the world, and people access those kind of content. So there is again now fast forward now again 2025. Again, a surge in such kind of content, though a lot of action being taken by I4C, CBI, and other kind of agencies to nab those criminals and disrupt those particular streaming networks. But still, a lot of these crimes are kind of going on. That's also on a rise. Then child self-generated sexual content. This is something that is very common. Again, I keep repeating this, that now, in fact, children are in the era of the e-world. They are born in the e-world, digital world, and their entire life cycle happens on the e-world, even access to education, to everything. Now, again, thanks to social media, now they are more and more connected, but then they are again vulnerable at certain positions where they get paired up into relationships online without knowing that the other person is whether a real person or a fake person. So which leads to, like, once they are in relationship, online relationship, they share a lot of photographs, content like images and videos that they should not have shared it with a stranger online. And then further that particular content gets misused. So that's basically the child self-generated sexual content. And finally, gaming and esports are coming up in a big way. In fact, there's a big discussion going on that esports, in fact, there could be a possibility of introducing a medallion in the next Olympics. So it will be a medal event, and esports and gaming, online gaming, are going to play a major role. But the other side, if you see, children getting glued to gaming, they are like almost playing games for almost 18 to 19 hours in a day, less of sleep, and they spend most of their time online, having health issues and again major kind of well-being issues. So electronic addictions are basically what I want to say is that children are getting more and more addicted to such gaming platforms, and that leads to a lot of challenges. I'll touch upon online harassment because this is how the harassment is happening, and children and young people are basically being kind of attacked through these forms of, I would say, comments, or in the form of these kind of conversations. Like, one of the ways where it becomes easy is by sending some kind of a flashy link. Flashy link could be something like a iPhone 16 Pro in just 5,999 rupees. And this is how, in fact, once they get a flashy offer, they click on these offers, and then further they in fact are also abused in the form that there is a special kind of a malware that gets installed in their phone, and then they're further trolled and abused, and the content is taken, and then they're further blackmailed. So that's one form. Then the other form is on the social media platform. Any photograph, any content that they post, that content is something that people start making certain remarks, some certain comments in public, and that leads to harassment here. There have been certain other ways where a lot of strangers try to do forceful sexual conversations with children. So these forceful sexual conversations also at times leads to harassment. And in many of the cases that we get, in fact, in the Cyber Peace helpline, is that a lot of children come to us and say that we get a lot of objectionable images that otherwise are not age appropriate. They should not have seen those images, but it comes from random persons on their social media, even on their, say WhatsApp or Telegram, any kind of platform that they are using. A lot of certain objectionable materials also come up on these platforms. So these are certain forms of harassment that we see. Now, this is an old case, but I still share, just making people understand that how important it is to become a responsible human in the cyberspace. And when we say responsible netizen, now I should rather be using responsible netizen in the cyberspace. So this is an old case, but still a lot of such cases happen. There was a boy again who had a breakup, and he just posted about that he was in a lot of pain. He wrote, "Pain makes you stronger, fear makes you braver, heartbreaks makes you." He wanted to write wiser. He did a spelling mistake. He wrote wisher, and thereafter, people started making fun of it, started trolling him, started sharing his comments. So such kind of issues are still on a rise. So cyberbullying and harassment, basically, cyberbullying and online harassments are serious ethical issues that have severe consequences. It involves the use of digital communication tools to intimidate, threaten, or humiliate others. As responsible digital citizens, it is our duty to prevent actually such kind of abuses that happens. And there are reporting channels which I'll share during the end, that if something happens, I will share where do you need to go, how to report, and not just yourself, but anybody in your ecosystem, a friend, a family, if anybody is kind of suffering that, you can report. Also, protecting personal data is also a fundamental, duty and aspect of cyber safety. Our personal information, such as name, address, financial details, can be misused if it falls into wrong hands. And I will again show how it happens, how scamsters and cyber criminals try to capture the information that you put on your social media and try to further harass you and abuse that information. Companies and organizations basically also have a responsibility now, and this is what the DPDP Act is now in place. We have the IT rules 2021. We also have a lot of guidelines that are now in place where the companies and even platforms need to be responsible to protect that information, and they have started doing it. Now they have grievance officers in India. There is a reporting channel that the Ministry of Electronics and IT has started for children and young people, not just for them, but for anyone who is a survivor who has been getting these kind of issues can report and seek help. And the most important is everybody needs to understand privacy policies and how do you implement those policies? How do you limit information that you share online? And be cautious about the apps and websites that you use. So that is something that every individual needs to know today. Now, coming to the other side about certain other kind of frauds that happen on the social media, phishing is the most common one. Phishing is one of the most common forms of fraud where scamsters use like a seemingly real email address with a link that urges you to input your information like your full name, security numbers, credit card numbers, your Aadhaar number, etc. There's phishing, there is wishing, there's voice-based phishing attempts also that happen. This is a recent trend. I'm sure many of our viewers would be watching this particular news on their X. This is news that is going on X right now, and this is regarding celebrity Shreya Ghoshal and these kind of news. It's coming up and it's being shared from verified handles. Point to be noted here is if you see these handles are verified with a blue tick. And when we go deeper into the kind of a profile, what we see is that profile has just around 40, 50 users and they've got the blue tick. Why blue tick? Because now Twitter has made it simpler. You pay and you get a blue tick. But that blue tick accounts, all these blue tick accounts are, and I took the screenshot just before coming to the session now. In fact, you can also check it online. It still exists. It looks like it is legitimate, but it is not. And it's just making use of deep fakes and AI generated tools to kind of create these kind of images and content and then push it online to verified accounts and trapping users then into further kind of frauds and scams. So be extremely careful and you need to think beyond any likes and shares. And there are a lot of things that needs to be considered, not just in India, but South Asia and globally. There's a spread of hate speech happening. Social media platforms have been exploited to disseminate hate speech, leading to societal tension. And also, it requires a stricter content moderation now by the platforms as well. Do not believe I've been influencers, and I've just picked up some news. I mean, how stock markets also suffer sometimes because of influencers, and also whatever you see online, don't just blindly believe it, even if it is coming from an influencer. You need to think critically. You need to research about that news before you share. So that is very important in today's world. When we talk about AI generated fakes, we have done a complete report, in fact, on how deepfakes and AI generated misinformation is spreading in India. We'll be happy to share later or during the end our findings. But some of the cases that we see is, again, deepfakes where AI is used to create hyper realistic videos, image, or audio by manipulating content. Misusing content, including impersonating people, spreading misinformation, or conducting a particular fraud. Scams also include deepfake videos of CEOs asking financial transfers or reputation attacks, like the one we just showed you regarding Shreya Ghoshal. The new threats are this and digital arrest. Again, I have a snapshot of digital arrest also. I just did a Google search. I used the keyword digital arrest and just went on Google News and was surprised to see that there's so many news on a daily basis that is coming where people are being scammed, people are being duped, and people of all age groups. So it's not just the children and young people, but senior citizens, women. It's across all genders, all age groups, all income groups. People are suffering and being harassed by these kind of crimes. So how it happens is, again, there are a lot of applications. This is a very known case of a famous actress, Rashmika Mandana, where her deepfake video was being circulated, and a horrifying app and there are a lot of apps like this where it swaps any kind of normal images into a porn video, and with a click, and then further they kind of abuse basically, and spread the image to kind of defame that particular organization, entity, or the individual. These are some of the cases that I've picked up online that are common, and there's a lot of news around deepfakes and misinformation. In one of these was like it was an AI scam where the father got a call from a fake police station. The police officer said that your son is in my custody, and he has done something wrong, something mischievous. If you don't pay me X amount, he's going to be pushed behind the juvenile home. That was the statement that the fake so-called police officer, he was a fake officer, in fact, mentioned. And the father then tried contacting the child, but the child was in the classroom. His phone was in the flight mode, so couldn't get connected to the child. Then this the fake police officer, said that I'll make you talk to your child. And what that officer did, the fake police officer did, was he used AI tool to clone the voice, and then, in fact, in the voice of his son, he made the father interact with the child. Interact, no, it was just a message that he said that he's in some police station, and he needs immediate help, and please rescue him. That was the message that was given, and then the father gave up, and finally he transferred the money. So these kind of scams are very, very common. And again, a lot of these scams are being run from different areas, not just globally, but locally also. Scamsters are making use of these AI tools to kind of target children and young people in different forms. Sextortion via WhatsApp video calls, very common, where somebody will reach out to you via WhatsApp, will share maybe something like that. The person needs to be connected to you for some help, or maybe that person would not even reach out to you with via messages. The person would simply give you a video call, and you will see that an unknown number is doing a video call. Just out of curiosity, if you pick up that video call, that person on the other side will do certain activities that you will not even identify, and the entire video is made, and then further you are blackmailed. So that's sextortion via WhatsApp video calls are very common. And these kind of letters, sometimes we've seen letters in the name of I4C as well. Now, I4C doesn't issue certain letters to kind of issue notices and all to general people, or asking them to take certain action. There's nothing like that. But then there have been notices that we saw from ED, and notices that have come from I4C, notices that have come from CBA. They're all fake. Again, using AI tools, the notices are created, the letters are created, circulated, and then people are further threatened. Ultimately, these people these scamsters try to play with the psychology of the end user, of the netizen, and once they give up, they also give up, and they transfer certain X amount to the say scamster. So these are very kind of common kind of issues. This is on digital arrest, taken precisely 30 minutes before my talk. Even if you go now and Google our digital arrest, there are a lot of cases that you'll see, and across, you can see Bombay, you can see Kolkata, you can see Tamil Nadu, you can see Chandigarh. So it's basically east, west, north, south, everything covered. So these crimes are almost everywhere, and it's time that we should be vigilant enough. Now, there are policies that are there. There are, in fact, different guidelines that are there. I forgot to mention about BNF, but now BNS has also come in, and the section 295 of BNS, it prohibits the sale of or distribution or of any kind of obscene objects that involves minor. So there are different laws that have come in. The cybersecurity strategy is also in making. Hopefully, we should see the strategy this year. In fact, DPDP rules were out. I just forgot to mention, it's now a full-fledged act. It's a Digital Data Protection Act, not a bill anymore. It has become an act. The intermediary guidelines have been constantly amended. The rules have been amended. So that makes the social media companies also accountable. So now there's a broadcast services bill, the IT rules 2021, the DPDP Act. platforms are getting more and more accountable. Like in terms of content moderation efforts, we see platforms like YouTube are intensifying efforts against misleading content, starting with crackdowns on clickbait in India. And also, in fact, we see Competition Commission of India, in fact, imposing heavy fine on platforms for not safeguarding, the users or the privacy of the users. So that's happening. I will just now come to the cyber safety tips. So these were some of the challenges that I wanted to share for the end user, the kind of challenges and problems that we see on social media. But it all has to start with, say, I would say the cyber hygiene that needs to be implemented. So I would say there are two parts of it. One is basically the settings that you need to undertake to safeguard your account. And I will share some of the settings that you need to undertake to create your social media secure. The other side is the device that you are using. It could be a, tab, it could be a iPad or iPhone or Android phone. So you need to make sure that the device that you are using, that device is also safe and secure, because it may happen that if you click on a, say, a fake link, a link that is for example something phishing link, or a malware link, your phone may get affected, your computer may get affected, and that will give the criminal access to each and every activity that you're doing in your phone. So that way, if you have a social media account, if you have a social media app in your phone, if your digital device, the device that you're using, if the device is not safe, if the device is not secure, you will end up losing all that information, all the activity that you are doing. So it has to start with that. Cyber hygiene has to start with that. So to ensure cyber safety, it is very essential that you adopt these following features. But I'm not limited to this. There are many more, but these are the most important ones. First is passwords. So you need to use strong password, and using complex, unique passwords for all accounts. It is what most important. Password ideally should be more than 8 characters, mixture of uppercase, lowercase, special characters. So that is why, I mean, if you want a password difficult to crack, it has to be a combination of all. It has to have numbers, it has to have uppercase, lowercase, it has to have special characters, and it has to be more than 8 characters in length. So that is important. You need to update softwares. Now it is very important. I've interacted with a lot of, I would say, people through sessions we have interacted, on ground we have interacted. But when we talk about the cyber hygiene, not many people are aware that updation is very important. So for any particular application that you have in your account, you may be a Snapchat user, you may be a X user, or Instagram user. I would request that you need to update it on a regular basis, because if you're not updating, your app may have certain vulnerabilities, and that vulnerability may compromise your account, your entire set of activities that you're doing. The same goes with your phone and the digital devices. Like any computer, a tablet, or a phone that you are using, that needs to be regularly updated. The applications need to be updated, and antivirus application or internet security application should be installed to patch any kind of a vulnerability. Next is Wi-Fi. We always, whenever we travel, we look out for Wi-Fi password. In fact, when we go to coffee shops, for example, the famous Cafe Coffee Days, or any kind of coffee shop like Starbucks, or if we go in a mall also, we look for open Wi-Fi network. We look for networks that are giving free Wi-Fi. Now we have to be extremely cautious when we are getting connected to a network in a public kind of a public place like a mall. We need to verify and get connected to a genuine network. And over that genuine network also, I recommend that we should use a virtual private network. It's called VPN. And I will also recommend a VPN. In fact, any of these advanced antivirus application or internet security application, like if you say Bitdefender or Kaspersky, or maybe Quick Heal Internet Security, it's an Indian antivirus. they have inbuilt virtual private network VPN features there. So in case you are connecting to an open Wi-Fi network, it will recommend you that first of all, that particular internet security application will only tell you that this network seems to be unsafe. So that's like a trigger that probably you are getting connected to a wrong network. In case you are unsure, if you're not able to make the decision, so I would still suggest that use a VPN so that the activity that you do, any kind of activity, any passwords that you're entering, or any communication you're doing, any kind of platform that you're opening, that is over an encrypted network and not an open network. So that is important. When it comes to your home network, I've seen we are careless about our home networks. We want convenience. That is most important. We generally enter passwords for our Wi-Fi router 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, which can be cracked within seconds, matter of seconds. So in case you are on a home network, Wi-Fi network, and you have simple password, it will be very easy for a cyber criminal to, or maybe somebody who is just a stranger who's around your house, for that person to crack the Wi-Fi password and then intercept the traffic that is going on. That means if you're using Facebook, if you're using Instagram, anything that you are doing is seen by the other individual who is like an uninvited guest in your home Wi-Fi network. So be extremely careful to protect. Be careful to protect your home Wi-Fi network with a strong password and encryption to prevent any kind of unauthorized access. Next thing, before you click, you need to be cautious while clicking on links, downloading files, or opening attachments, as they may contain malware or phishing attempts. So this is an important thing because, like I mentioned, a single wrong click. Out of curiosity, like I was mentioning about the iPhone offer, like out of curiosity, if you happen to click on one such link, just to check, that link can install a malware and then you are completely compromised. Even your microphone and your camera is accessible by the cyber criminal. So this is, I would say, the most important thing is you have to be extremely careful with what you interact online. There could be somebody like a known friend or a family member who sends you a message and says, "Hey, I have say visited Goa and check out my latest photographs." Now, again, that will make you curious. You know somebody, and that particular message has come from probably a name that is similar to your friend, but it could be a fake, a rogue account, or maybe at times we have also seen that your friend or somebody known's account may be compromised, the phone or digital device may be compromised, and that particular device would be randomly sending such links to the other people who are there in the contact list. So that's why it is very important. Be very cautious while you click on links, and always it's better. I suggest, and a practice that I do is I call that individual and check whether this link has been sent by him or her. I confirm, and then only I open the attachment. So this is very important. And privacy settings is also very important. Like all these platforms, whether it is Meta, X, Snap, all of them have privacy settings today. So all you need to do is review those security settings and adjust privacy settings on these platforms and other online services to control the information you share online. Because if you do a public post, it can be seen by everyone. There had been cases where people posted that they're going to a coffee shop, they're going to watch cinemas, and they had to suffer because of that, because the person who was stalking them also saw that particular post and came to that X location to meet and then further stalk in person. So that is very important that you need to limit all these things. And also, there is a privacy checkup now. Now, most of these platform, in case you don't know what features to implement, you can do a privacy checkup on this platform. In fact, this is also applicable for your WhatsApp. WhatsApp has offered this on the settings. If you do the privacy checkup, it will let you know the things that you need to implement, the things that you need to secure. Like, for example, like everyone's settings can be done to like friends only. All of that setting can be done by going to the privacy settings or privacy checkup feature. Multi-factor authentication is extremely important, and Here, I would suggest, like to advise is like all these major platforms that you have, they offer this particular feature wherein you can go to the settings and enable, all you need to do is enable the two-factor authentication. Once you enable the two-factor authentication, even if, say, your phone gets compromised or any details or your password gets compromised, then in that case, you still have a chance that there is a second form of authentication that is available that will come as SMS. But yes, in case your phone gets fully compromised, then scammer can also read that one time the password, the one time OTP that comes into your phone. So that's why I'm saying securing the device is important. That is very important. That is the core, and then you secure the platform. So these two go hand in hand. So that's why it is important that you secure both things together. Then you need to actively report. I will share how you can report. The reporting channels are very easy and convenient today. I4C has launched the cybercrime.gov.in, where you can go and report. Reporting is very easy. And in fact, you are given a unique reporting number which you can track. In fact, you can report to the platform thanks to IT rules 2021. In fact, now grievance officers are there. Platforms have made grievance officers in India available. Their email, their contact numbers are shared online on the platform. As user, if something goes wrong, I can go to the platform and I can kind of seek help in getting the account access back. In case your Instagram, somebody hacked your Instagram, you can get your Instagram back. Or you can also get certain content taken down. In case somebody is bullying you, somebody is impersonating you, you can take down the content by reporting to that particular individual, the grievance officer. Additionally, now the government of India under Ministry of Electronics and IT, we have the grievance appellate committee. It's called GAC in short. The website is, I will repeat because I don't have a slide on GAC, but you can make a note of it because it's very important. It's gac.gov.in. So this website, in case you are unable to get any help, you're still being abused, bullied, stalked, harassed, you can reach out to GSC. You can report to them that this is something that is happening and you need their intervention. So you fill up a form and immediately the GSC team then reaches out to the platform to take quick action on that. And it's very effective, the entire grievance appellate platform run by my team. Avoid strangers, use only authentic apps. Like I've seen a lot of people still looking for TikTok, for example. TikTok is banned in India, but they look for application, they do a random search, download a third-party app. That app is infected, that app has malware inside it. People don't realize and they download that third-party app. And once they do it, they're all compromised. So don't look for those apps which are banned. Don't look for those gaming apps that are banned because the moment you download it, you are again exposing yourself. Utilize a good antivirus, like I already gave some names, or an anti-Trojan application or a firewall in your phone. Bitdefender, we have tried and tested. It's quite a good application, so I recommend that as a normal user, you can use Bitdefender as an application, or Quick Heal, which is the India-owned Quick Heal internet security application. That is also quite good. Now, coming to the cyber safety measures. In fact, I'll just like to wind up on the measures and straight away come to the practical cyber safety tips that needs to be followed. And it's like a sum up of what I've said earlier about privacy, about strong passwords, about recognizing and reporting abuse. And most important is be cautious, think before what you post online. Whatever if you post online, it stays. So it's like your digital footprint that is there. So I strongly advise that you need to be critical about anything that you do online because and you need to cross check about things before posting anything online. So thinking before you post online, there are a lot of good applications again. Now I'll come to some of the settings that you can use, some of the applications that you are doing. I mentioned about basically spending too much time online. There are good digital well-being features and applications that are available on the Android store that you can use, and you can see how you are managing your time, what kind of activities you are doing, how many times you have logged or unlocked your phone. That will give you an idea about the time spent online. And for parents also, it is equally important because parents can use it as a parental control to see how much time that children they are spending online. And in case they see any red flags, like say 6 to 7 hours is still okay, but if their child is spending 19 hours, 20 hours online, then that's where you have to be extra cautious and aware. You can use different features like DNDs, focus mode, for example, will pause any kind of distracting applications. I've already mentioned about securing devices, but this is a very detailed slide about securing devices. When you talk about mobile security and safety of your mobile phone, it starts with your security lock. You need to use a number, fingerprint, a pattern lock to kind of implement say basic safety in your phone so that nobody else can straight away access, or maybe if your phone is left somewhere without you monitoring it, somebody else can just quickly access the phone and can compromise all the data. So it is important that you use a lock, you use encryption to encrypt the entire device, and also this, in case you have a sensitive data, at least that part should be encrypted. If you lose uh, your phone has all the social media apps. Your phone has your entire life of you and everything about you. Your phone probably knows more than what you know about yourself. So it's better that you do a remote wipe. Now, all these apps, whether Android or iPhone, they have this remote wipe feature wherein you can remotely connect to the phone and run this remote wipe feature to kind of delete all the data in case the device is you are unable to track. You need to back up your data on a regular basis. Things can go wrong any point of time. You don't expect that you are following all the tips, so everything will be okay and fine with you. There have been a lot of ransomware cases and all where people accidentally click on certain link and suddenly their phone got encrypted and a timer was running. And the timer, in fact, they just said the timer asked that you need to pay, say, 10,000 rupees to get access to your phone. So that's not something that is advisable. And that's why we say that paying, I mean, people say that, okay, let's pay that particular ransomware, get the data back. We don't advise that because many times you pay also and still you don't get your data. So it's better that you back up your data. Do not install anything from unknown source. Beware of any kind of scams. Be aware. So it's very important that you constantly keep reading about new scams, new ways where people are kind of identifying to kind of scam you. No routing is important, but many people they go for jailbreaking, routing their devices to kind of install certain application that the device is not able to do. It actually opens your device to a lot of backdoors and malware. So do not do that. Update your system on a regular basis. Firewall, and again, your device has a lot of features. I recommend switching off Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and NFC when it's not in use. Because now the devices are also connected to payment apps and all. So you need to turn off when not in use, and you need to use VPN. Like I said, it's very important when you're connecting to a public Wi-Fi network. Wi-Fi password, Wi-Fi security, again, it's very important. The most important thing is the password and the encryption strength. Password, it needs to be difficult to crack, and the encryption strength should be WPA2 and above. WPA3 is recommended. That's the recommended one, and then you can implement a lot of other things like MAC filtering and a firewall that is inside the router. Most of the advanced routers that are available in the market today have these advanced internet security features as well. When going on any of the shopping sites, again, I recommend using VPN very strongly. And I mentioned there's one good VPN application that I like to suggest. It's like we also have used it, Proton VPN. So it's quite good. And again, the VPN that comes with Bitdefender, Quickheal, those VPNs are also very good. But beware of fake Wi-Fi networks that are there that can compromise you. Reporting is important if anything goes wrong. All these platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snap, even the certain sites like X videos, they are the places where you can report in case you find any such content without your consent on these websites. You can report. And do remember there's something called as DMCA. It's called Digital Millennium Copyright Act. Under DMCA, if you just put a DMCA space Facebook, you'll see a form that gets opened. And in case there's a content on Facebook that has gone without your consent, you just fill up the form, you prove that the content belongs to you, and then the platform is something, the platform acts very fast to kind of take down the content if it's not your own content. Sorry. There are many more settings that are there. Like I'll just go to the previous slide. Like all these settings, for example, like where you can go to the platform and then you can report abuse. You can do that. Netiquette is acting online the same way you do online, so that is very important. And why netiquette is needed is to foster respect and empathy among users, safe and inclusive online spaces, and also keep privacy within your social circle. So that's why netizen and netiquette becomes very important. You need to be mindful about your sharing and consuming any info, and you need to ask some basic questions if you go online and if you're posting. Like, how do I feel if I were to receive such a post? Have I cross-checked the information that I'm sharing? Is that source credible? Am I sharing too much about myself to others? What kind of an impression of me will this post leave on others and impact future opportunities? By the way, it can probably your job or people who are hiring you for a job may actually go online and look what kind of post you are doing. So those are things that you need to think. Is there a possibility that this post will affect my relationship anywhere with anyone?
Right,
So
sir.
those are the things.
Sir, I
And
request you to kindly wrap up quickly because we are running
sure.
short of time.
Yeah, just a couple of minutes. I'm
Yeah.
almost done. Yeah, sure. So these things to be kept in mind, and online activities are a reflection of you. You need to mind what you are sharing. You can also use some tech trackers to kind of track how much time you are spending online and then balancing. There are certain platforms, there are certain applications, and also these kind of templates are available online. And these are the places where you can report. You can report to I4C, you can report to cybercrime.gov.in. 112 is one of the places where you can report. You can also remember this number 1930. I'm sure other speakers must have also spoken to you, but it's quite effective. And the nearest police station, at least the nearest, every district, every state police has a cyber police station today. So you can also go and report there. I will now end up by sharing about Cyberpeace. We have a lot of content available. I'll skip and I'll straight away come to the content where we have created certain content with NCERT and CBSE. So these books are available. I know it's too fast. I cannot cover everything in this 1 hour. So I will leave you with certain reference points. We keep doing activities like clubs. We have the Cyberpeace First Responder Program. Cyberpeace also has a YouTube channel where we are posting these kind of content called Cyberpeace TV. And I think I will just leave you with the booklets that are available. You can download these booklets that are there. It's on the website of Cyberpeace, cyberpeace.org, and also posted by NCERT and CBSE. Sorry. And this is the YouTube channel that you see here. So this is called Cyberpeace TV. You can reach out to this channel and you can probably download these videos. They're short bite-sized videos where you can learn about cyber safety. Thank you. With that, I would like to end. Sorry for taking the extra time here, ma'am, and over to you now, please.
No, sir, thank you so much. It was indeed wonderful, and you shared a lot of information, which I'm sure is going to come handy when it comes to keeping ourselves safe in cyberspace. Thank you for your time and contribution. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
And now, since it's a training program, there has to be an assessment. Let's take a quick look at the website. So how basically you can access the website, it's very important to go towards the same, and here we are. So you go to cret.ncert.gov.in. This is the website. Go to activities section, workshop and training option, scroll down, and here is online training on emerging concerns in cyberspace. On this page, you will get the entire information, objectives, who can participate, program schedule, and here's the important thing, how to participate. Step 1, I'm sure you have registered. Click the link or scan the code. Step 2, watch all sessions carefully. Step 3, follow the guidelines so that you can attempt the assessment. If you score more than 70%, you will get a certificate, and submit your feedback on clicking on the link that is there or scanning the code. And on an everyday basis, you can write an email to us on this ID or you can give us a call on the same. So we wish you all the very best for the assessment. Hope you all come out with flying colors. And now let's take a quick look at the schedule, what's all coming ahead. These are the programs. In a short while from now, you can watch our session, Sahyog. With this, it's a wrap. This is me, Harpreet Kaur, taking leave of you. Namaskar.